Well, hello model car fans. Welcome to the Muscle Car Modeler. My name is Raul, and this week I'm going to show you some of the kits I've recently picked up here. I've been to a number of sales and friends' houses and everything, and picked up some kits and everything, and also got some from my sponsor here, Hobby Nut Models. So that's where this one came from. I'll show you the other kit I picked up from him as well. And you guys, if you haven't checked out our sponsors, please check the video link in the video description below, and you can go to his site and check out anything he's got. But I picked this one up from him recently. It's the newest release of the Revell 70 Buick GSX, but this one is the 2-in-1, and I was kind of curious about some things about it, so I picked it up, even though I have an original issue and I got one of the ones in between. So this makes 3 of these, and if you're interested, maybe I'll do a video of the kit contents or anything between them, but the main differences are the decal sheets. But this particular one, the one thing I had to open it, I really wanted to check something out here is, it had the big tires in the back. So some of the original kits had the big tires and the same, all 4 of the same size. So it had the big ones, and that was one of the things I really wanted to know. Plus, check out the rest of it here. And it has all the custom parts in here on this tree, and as long as the stock hood and everything. So, and I saw it on the chrome tree as well. You got the stock wheels here, the stock air cleaner, but then you got the carbs all right here, and a tunnel ram, and the custom 80s wheels right here that just jump out 80s on it. And then the other thing I really wanted to see was the decal sheet. And you got the nose on the hood for both the yellow and the white version. And then all the rest of the GSX stripes here in stage 1 and stage 2 and 455. So really wanted to see this decal sheet and how it differed from the other decal sheets, because that's usually where they're all different. But yeah, I picked this one up from him. So we'll put all that back in the box here. And then also, I'm talking about Hobby Nut Models. He showed some other exotics and foreign kits as well, and so I got this kit from him, the Ferrari FXX. This is a 2005 race car. Kind of familiar with the program. I've done a lot of reading about different Ferraris and models, and kind of enjoying that, as it's a brand I've read into a couple of times here and there, and different ones, and some that interest me and some that don't. But I like my history, so it's kind of fun to read. But it ends up, I end up buying things like this. So I haven't opened this one up yet. It's going to go in my stash for a little bit as I decide, which ones I'm going to build first. But there's another Ferrari that I have to show you that I scored that I was pretty excited about, and it really made me smile, but it's a mess. So when it comes to my friends here locally, one of the guys, Bernie here, call him Bernie's Bargain Barn if you heard me mention it before. He gets, different kits and collections and whatnot, but sometimes you get something like this. Now, this box has seriously gotten wet. Really bad. I mean, you can kind of see it had mold on it, a little bit of mold on the bottom there and everything. So this is one you would be paying full detail for, but, I know the 275 GTB is a pretty rare car. They didn't make them for very long. And it's a pretty car. And I thought it was pretty cool and everything, but he had this kit, and I'm like, yeah, I'll check it out. I've seen it in his stash a couple of times, but, I decided, what the heck, I'll just go for it in this particular issue. But I've looked at it before, so, there's some more of the mold and everything. But first thing I did was get it open, and these decals actually look okay. They don't look like they had gotten wet or anything. They actually look like they'll work. Now, it's a pretty old kit from what I understand. I'm not sure when exactly it was issued, but the chrome was put into a plastic bag. Don't see any damage done to the chrome. The bumper got knocked a little bit, the bumpers, but the chrome looks all good, and I don't see anything broken here. Body looks really good. I mean, water really isn't going to mess up these parts. I mean, it could mess up the chrome finish. You can see some spots on it, but body looks good. Most of this is here. Headlights, kind of looked it over carefully. It's all there. Body's molded in red, of course, and the rest of the front nose, rear bumper, And then clear tree, I don't see anything damaged, and it's bagged, so I don't see anything broken here. And then all the stock parts, kind of looked it over really quick and noticed it is a 4-cam, has the 6 carbs. So read a little bit about these. I'm not really sure. It's more of the competition motor than, but it's definitely a later motor because I made these from 64 to 67. But the 4-cam motors are a little bit later. And then, you know, the tires and then the chassis. So all of this stuff is pretty nice, but like I said, the box is kind of, you know, a mess, and the box itself is not going to get you any money on eBay for it. But, you know, I saw this kit and decided, you know, I picked up a few other kits as well. But this one, I saw it and was looking it over and pretty excited to actually build this one. Probably do it in yellow, but it's all here and it's in really nice shape. So this one I may actually build pretty soon. It's kind of a simple build, but I had to pick that up. Now, many of you have asked me if I have gone to Andy's and picked up any kits because he had that huge collection in. Yes, I have. Now, one of them I picked up, and I'm not showing everything I picked up because, you know, he had a bunch of $20 kits. And this is one, I have pictures of my original build. I built this one, had some fun with it, just slammed it. But I built it right out of the box and put a vinyl top on it and on the tonneau cover with masking tape. And it's one of the ones I sold on eBay. Wish I didn't. I have pictures of it. I'll post those up right now. But he had this kit, and, you know, the guy bagged that. The rest of the kit is still sealed inside. Here's the instructions and the decals. All right. So I'm like, this is really cool. I'm like, well, you know, I'll recreate that build, have a little bit of fun, do it a little bit better. But I do like trucks, and I like custom trucks. So I thought this was really cool, and it's kind of hard to find. So I picked it up. I'm like, all right, great. So, you know, along with some of the other ones I picked up. But the funny part, you know, another one of visiting my friends and getting caught up and seeing what they picked up and what they've got for sale and everything like that. So went over to my friend Harold's. What does he have? Another one. All right. So I'm like, out of curiosity, I decided I'm going to check it out. Just kind of giggles. It was actually put together. This one was, it was not painted and it was glued together. The taillights are glued in place. I had trimmed the roll pan. The hood was glued in place. The pins broke, got the hood off. But mirrors are seriously glued in there. They're not coming off. But there's just tiny bits of glue. The third brake light was glued in place. I remember filling that in. I filled that in, the door handles and the tailgate. But I ended up using a stock bumper. This one had the roll pan glued in place. And, you know, the custom bumper, there's the grill. I scraped the chrome off, but the insert popped right out. Tailgate popped right out. So this thing disassembled really fast. Glass is nice. You can see where the third brake light was glued to it. And then, you know, the tires were glued. I put them in a bag. The third brake light is in here. It's all here. All the stuff I wanted to use, other than these seats are seriously glued down, and so is this dash. So I was trying to get it to pop loose, but doesn't want to come loose. And I didn't fight it too much, but kind of left that alone. But the rest of it's all in here. Then the decals, the parts, and all the screws. I don't know where that light is. Here it is. And here's the third brake light. That one was kind of glued in one spot. I had to cut that loose. But, you know, he had this, and it was, you know, kind of a joke where it's like, all right, how much you want for that? And he's like, $15. I'm like, all right, you know what? I'll start with this one and build this one and kind of have some fun. It's already built, but it's easy to start with this and then move on. Now, also at Harold's, looking at a bunch of stuff, and here's another one there. The box caught me. Now I know this is the original 63 AMT Cobra issue from back then, and the box was just kind of cool, and so I was just checking it out and everything, and he's like, nah. He goes, you can have that for $10. All right, $10, okay, but it's a bit of a glue bomb. Check this thing out. Not horrible. More of a paint bomb than a glue bomb. But check this out. This is fun. got the blue painted glass, you know, the windshield frame, the fastback roof, then blue painted rear window. And there's a little bit of red overspray here on the side. But one of the things that mainly caught my attention was, you know, it's got this big blower in there. I'm not sure if this motor came in this particular version. Looks like the gas cap is glued on the nose here. Lots of lint on the seats, if not carpet material. I'm not sure what they were doing there. There was a separate steering wheel rim, but I like those wheels, these dragon snake style wheels. It's got 3 of the 4 spinners. This one's missing, but you can see how heavily spray painted this thing is. You can almost see the body lines, and it's definitely got a texture in the paint. Whether that's in the paint or in the plastic, I don't know. Motor's flopping around right there. So it was just kind of a, you know, for that, I'm like, all right, I'll check it out. And so I decided, nah, take it home. Who knows what I'll do with it or anything like that. I got a couple of the much later releases that can be built stock, but this one was just very entertaining for me. And then I got lots of pictures of a bunch of vintage kits and that he's collected. So, but this one, like, the box was kind of cool itself, and then just those wheels alone and the drag tires in the back. So I'm like, oh, you know, that's worth it to me. So I went ahead and picked this one up. But he knows me and my problem with Thunderbird kits and not being able to pass them up. So here's a 60 Thunderbird box. Kind of a nice box, and I didn't need it, but I did need it. Had some paint on it, but it's kind of cool just to have one of the original boxes. But that was just the box. And then some of you have seen this on Facebook, and he showed me like 5 Thunderbird convertibles of these square birds here. But yeah, he showed me there was a couple of 59s that were somewhat rough and buildable, and a couple of 60s. And while I have a whole bunch of them, when he showed me this 59 that was in one of the boxes, and I noticed that rear bumper is really nice. It's not had the tonneau cover, Continental kit glued to it. Taillights are there. Fins are not broken. All the screws are there. The entire chassis is there. All 4 wheel covers are there, and tires. And even the front bumper. The chrome's pretty nice. It's all there. All the emblems are there. It's got a little bit of a decal right here that should come right off. All the emblems are silver paint. Mirrors are up here, which is kind of a funny spot to put them because the hood on the real car wouldn't open. It would hit both mirrors. But these mirrors, they're not even glued in place. They're just kind of loose. That's missing, but this one's here. And it seems to be pretty well glued. So need to find one more of those. Now I have 3 more 59 hard tops. I've got 2 sets of these. I even got a resin 59 wagon from a friend of mine here locally that cast that. But glass is here. It's not marred up. The windshield frame is not broken. The entire interior is there. Steering wheel, nothing's broken. So, you know, has all the decals that, you know, I would take those off and remove them. But this thing, for the original 59 annual, it's got everything except that. And I just couldn't walk away from this one too. So even though I didn't really need it and I built a 59 convertible, here's another one for my collection. And I had to pull out my stash and check them out. So this is number 4 of my unrestored, unfinished 59s. So I got 3 hard tops. One of them's resin. And then this, I'll throw a picture up. This one, my black one that's been finished and featured on the channel. Got a couple of 60s that aren't finished. And then 2 60s that I did finish. But since I love my square birds, I couldn't pass this one up. And then especially the box. So kind of nice. Although when I do this, I'll fill these mirror holes in and move the mirrors either up here or to the door. But just on the driver's side, I probably won't put one on the passenger side because on the passenger side, they're very rare. But that's because mirrors were pretty much dealer installed back then as an accessory. Didn't come from the factory on the car. But anyway, figure I would show these to you and see what you guys thought. Just some more of my stash ads and everything, just some vintage kits, and just for fun and playing, and some 80s kits, which, you know, that's what I've been doing lately, especially when I went to Andy's and looked at what they had there. Lots of 80s and 90s kits. Nothing super rare, but I mean, stuff like this, you know, Snapfast kit that was kind of fun to build back then, but it's gotten a little bit hard to find. But I wasn't looking for it, saw it. And it's just kind of funny that Harold had another one built, but, you know, easily to take apart, and I did. So, you know, I'll build one of them, and the other one, you know, probably set up getting on eBay or something like that, because I'll do that on occasion to help pay for some of the ones. I'll buy some and then flip some and let people fight over them. But anyway, thank you for tuning in, subscribing, and all your comments. I do really appreciate it. And you guys, you have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next Saturday.